Today is March 13th, 2026, and this is Read Through the Bible.
Hi, everyone.
And we have just finished reading the first 6 chapters of the book of Ezra.
Right, so the first 6 chapters talk about building the temple, and that was done under the direction of Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel built the temple. And then there's a gap of like 50 to 60 years probably.
Yep.
And then in 7 through 10, it's about Ezra leading another group back, and he comes back specifically to teach them the law.
Yep. And we have a song about
We do.
about after 70 years of captive in Babylonia, the Jews returned home
To Jerusalem.
To Jerusalem. And so Zerubbabel built the temple, Ezra taught the law, and Nehemiah built the law, so that the wall, so they could be safe. And we'll link that out in the description if you're interested in just listening to this song that we wrote
Many years ago, as part of a project of writing a song about a lot of lists about these things.
The words are super great, super helpful for you to remember. Zerubbabel built the temple, Ezra taught the law, Nehemiah built the wall so they could be safe. And that is Ezra and Nehemiah, just in the broadest sense, if you just can remember those things. Okay, so also, between chapter 6 and 7, the book of Esther takes place.
Right.
Just kind of put that in your Bible, and we'll get to Ezra after Nehemiah. Okay, chapter 7. Now, after this, in the reign of Artaxerxes, king of Persia, Ezra, the son of Sariah, son of Azariah, son of Hilkiah, son of Shallum, son of Zadok, son of Ahitub, son of Amariah, son of Azariah, son of Merimoth, son of Zeriah, son of Uzi, son of Buki, son of Abishua, son of Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the chief priest. This Ezra, in case you were confused about which Ezra it was.
I mean, so he's from the line of Aaron.
Yes.
That's the point.
He's a priest. Yep, this Ezra went up from Babylonia. He was a scribe skilled in the law of Moses that the Lord, the God of Israel, had given, and the king granted him all that what he asked, for the hand of the Lord his God was upon him.
There's that phrase.
Yeah, so you just read through here, just listen for that phrase over and over, that the hand of the Lord was upon him.
Verse 7, and there went up also to Jerusalem in the 7th year of Artaxerxes the king, some of the people of Israel, and some of the priests and Levites, the singers and gatekeepers and temple servants. And Ezra came to Jerusalem in the 5th month, which was in the 7th year of the king. For on the first day of the 1st month he began to go up from Babylonia, and on the first day of the 5th month he came to Jerusalem. For the good hand of his God was on him. For Ezra had set his heart to study the law of the Lord, and to do it, and to teach his statutes and rules in Israel.
That's just a great verse for any of us, especially as you're committed to this process of listening to us read through the Bible and reading through it on your own and summarizing these chapters. Just set your heart to study the law of God for sure, but set your heart equally as much to do it and to obey it and to follow it.
And then to teach it.
Only then, right? To pass it on, whether it's passing on to your kids or your friends or however. And we just say pass on this podcast, like we've never promoted that before, but certainly pass on the podcast to other people and just encourage people then to listen and pursue on their own and to serve the Lord with all their heart. Okay, verse 11. This is a copy of the letter that King Artaxerxes gave to Ezra the priest, the scribe, a man learned in matters of the commandments of the Lord and his statutes for Israel. Artaxerxes, king of kings, to Ezra the priest, the scribe of the law of the God of heaven, peace. And now I make a decree that any one of the people of Israel, or their priests or Levites in my kingdom, who freely offers to go to Jerusalem, may go with you. For you are sent by the king and his 7 counselors to make inquiries about Judah and Jerusalem according to the law of your God, which is in your hand, and also to carry the silver and the gold that the king and his counselors have freely offered to the God of Israel, whose dwelling is in Jerusalem, with all the silver and gold that you shall find in the whole province of Babylonia, and with the freewill offerings of the people and the priests, vowed willingly for the house of their God that is in Jerusalem. With this money, then, you shall with all diligence buy bulls, rams, and lambs, with their grain offerings and their drink offerings, and you shall offer them on the altar of the house of your God that is in Jerusalem. And whatever seems good to you and your brothers to do with the rest of the silver and the gold you may do, according to the will of your God. The vessels that have been given you for the service of the house of your God, you shall deliver before the God of Jerusalem. And whatever else is required For the house of your God, which it falls to you to provide, you may provide it out of the king's treasury. This sounds a lot like the beginning of Ezra with Cyrus's decree of just kind of saying, go, and I'm going to fully fund you in the effort.
And it sounds a lot like Darius
Yes.
as well in chapter 6. Okay, verse 21. And I, Artaxerxes the king, which, by the way, Artaxerxes was also mentioned in chapter 4, but it's probably a different Artaxerxes.
Yes.
So, yeah, could be a little confusing there, but they repeated names. Okay, 21. And I, Artaxerxes the king, made a decree to all the treasurers in the province beyond the river. Whatever Ezra the priest, the scribe of the law of the God of heaven, requires of you, let it be done with all diligence, up to 100 talents of silver, 100 cores of wheat, 100 baths of wine, 100 baths of oil, and salt, without prescribing how much. Whatever is decreed by the God of heaven, let it be done in full for the house of the God of heaven, lest his wrath be against the realm of the king and his sons. There again, I think Artaxerxes has his own protection and interest in mind in not getting on the bad side of the God of heaven. Verse 24, we also notify you that it shall not be lawful to impose tribute, custom, or toll on any one of the priests, the Levites, the singers, the doorkeepers, the temple servants, or other servants of this house of God.
And you, Ezra, according to the wisdom of your God that is in your hand, appoint magistrates and judges who may judge all the people in the province beyond the river, all such as know the laws of your God, and those who do not know them you shall teach. Whoever will not obey the law of your God and the law of the king, let judgment be strictly executed on him, whether for death or for banishment or for confiscation of his goods or for imprisonment.
Blessed be the Lord, the God of our fathers, who put such a thing into the heart of the king, to beautify the house of the Lord that is in Jerusalem, and who extended to me his steadfast love before the king and his counselors, and before all the king's mighty officers. I took courage, for the hand of the Lord my God was on me, and I gathered leading men from Israel to go up with me.
Okay, so we didn't talk about your micro summaries. Your micro words here for chapter 7 is...
I have Ezra sent.
Yep, that's exactly right. So Ezra was sent by Artaxerxes. He comes with full backing of this king to teach the law, appoint magistrates and judges. And we see in several instances, chapter 7 verse 6 and 7 verse 9 and 7 verse 28, about how the hand of the Lord my God was on me. This just shows the divine blessing of this. Okay, and then we have a brief list of all those who are going to return with Ezra. In fact, your summary here for chapter 8 is...
I have travel.
Travel. That's just Ezra coming back with these people. Okay, chapter 8, verse 1. These are the heads of their fathers' houses, and this is the genealogy of those who went up with me from Babylonia in the reign of Artaxerxes the king. Of the sons of Phinehas, Gershom. Of the sons of Ithamar, Daniel. Of the sons of David, Hattush. Of the sons of Shechaniah, who was of the sons of Parash, Zechariah, with whom were registered 150 men. Of the sons of Pahath-Moab, Eliehoenai, the son of Zerahiah, and with him 200 men. Of the sons of Zattu, Shechaniah, the son of Jahaziel, and with him 300 men. Of the sons of Adin, Ebed, the son of Jonathan, and with him 50 men. Of the sons of Elam, Jeshiah, the son of Athaliah, and with him 70 men. Of the sons of Shephatiah, Zebediah, the son of Michael, and with him 80 men. Of the sons of Joab, Obadiah, the son of Jehiel, and with him 218 men. Of the sons of Bani, Shelomoth, the son of Josaphiah, and with him 160 men. Of the sons of Babai, Zechariah, the son of Babai, and with him 28 men. Of the sons of Azgad, Johanan, the son of Hakatan, and with him 110 men. Of the sons of Adonikam, those who came later, their names being Eliphaphat, Jewel, and Shemaiah, and with them 60 men. Of the sons of Bigvai, Uthai, and Zakur, and with them 70 men.
Verse 15, I gathered them to the river that runs to Ahava, and there we encamped 3 days. As I reviewed the people and the priests, I found there none of the sons of Levi. And I sent for Eleazar, Ariel, Shemaiah, Elnathan, Jarib, Elnathan, Nathan, Zechariah, and Meshullam, leading men, for Joiarib and Elnathan, who were men of insight, and sent them to Iddo, the leading man at the place Casiphah, telling them what to say to Iddo and his brothers and the temple servants at the place Casiphah, namely to send us ministers for the house of our God. And by the good hand of our God on us, there it is, that phrase, they brought us a man of discretion, of the sons of Mali, the son of Levi, the son of Israel, namely Sherebiah, with his sons and kinsmen 18. Also Hashabiah, and with him Jeshiah of the sons of Merari, with his kinsmen and their sons 20. Besides 220 of the temple servants, whom David and his officials had set apart to attend the Levites. These were all mentioned by name.
Okay, so they're getting set to travel, and before they travel, then they pray. Verse 21, Then I proclaimed a fast there at the river Ahava, that we might humble ourselves before our God to seek from him a safe journey for ourselves, our children, and all our goods. For I was ashamed to ask the king for a band of soldiers and horsemen to protect us against the enemy on our way, since we had told the king, here's what we said, right, the hand of our God is for good on all who seek him, and the power of his wrath is against all who forsake him. So they can't say that and at the same time ask for like soldiers and horsemen to protect them. Just if your God isn't big enough to protect you. And then he says, so we fasted and implored our God for this, and he listened to our entreaty.
Verse 24, Then I set apart 12 of the leading priests, Sherebiah, Hashabiah, and 10 of their kinsmen with them. And I weighed out to them the silver and the gold and the vessels, the offering for the house of our God, that the king and his counselors and his lords and all Israel there present had offered. I weighed out into their hand 650 talents of silver, and silver vessels worth 200 talents, and 100 talents of gold, 20 bowls of gold worth 100 derricks, and 2 vessels of fine, bright bronze as precious as gold. So this is some pretty precious cargo they're carrying. I mean, they could easily be a target for robbers and bandits who would come see this caravan and say, let's attack them and take their goods. So that's a lot of stuff they're carrying. Verse 28, And I said to them, You are holy to the Lord, and the vessels are holy, and the silver and the gold are a freewill offering to the Lord, the God of your fathers. Guard them and keep them until you weigh them before the chief priests and the Levites and the heads of fathers' houses in Israel at Jerusalem, with the chambers of the house of the Lord. So the priests and the Levites took over the weight of the silver and the gold and the vessels to bring them to Jerusalem, to the house of our God.
Then we departed from the river Ahava on the 12th day of the first month to go to Jerusalem. The hand of our God was on us, and he delivered us from the hand of the enemy and from the ambushes on the way, for which they had fasted, implored, and prayed that God would do that. And indeed, God shows that you don't need soldiers and horsemen to protect you.
In their case.
In their case, right? We came to Jerusalem, and there we remained for 3 days. On the 4th day, within the house of our God, the silver and the gold and the vessels were weighed into the hands of Meremoth the priest, the son of Uriah, and with him was Eleazar the son of Phinehas, and with them were the Levites, Jozabad the son of Jeshua, and Noadiah the son of Binnui. The whole counted and weighed, and the weight of everything was recorded.
At that time, those who had come from captivity, the returned exiles, offered burnt offerings to the God of Israel, 12 bulls for all Israel, 96 rams, 77 lambs, and as a sin offering, 12 male goats. All this was a burnt offering to the Lord. They also delivered the king's commissions to the king's satraps and to the governors of the province beyond the river, and they aided the people and the house of God.
Yep. So this is a list of exiles returning with Ezra. They fasted and implored God for safety, and then got there and they weighed out all their silver and gold. Is that what chapter was about?
In one word, travel.
One word, yep. Okay, we will see you tomorrow, weekend edition in the Proverbs.
Right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Goodbye.